Hey, it's Chris Akin from Chris Akin Presents, The Classic Metal Show, and The Seth Williams Show. Now, we know it's frustrating to have to use this website for videos, that website for podcasts, and still another for the live shows. Well, let's end that shit right now. Get the Locals app and get it all in one place. This is free, folks. You don't have to pay to get most of the great content that we're doing. Like I said, it is free. On your phone or device, just go to locals.com in your iOS or Google Play Store, install it, and create an account. Open the app, surf to the search from the bottom, and type in Classic Metal Show. Then click Join. That's it. Once you join, you can click on the triangle button at the bottom, and you can select from videos, live streams, both past and active, or podcasts. Watch and listen right there. When a stream is live, you can participate in the chat right from that screen if you choose. If you want our exclusive content, just click support when you visit the Classic Metal Show community. It's simple, and it's the best way to stay engaged with all of my shows, so sign up today. Hail and kill.
What's up, everybody? It's John Bush from the Mighty Armored Saint, and you are watching CMS TV. Crank it!
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard The Cult with She Sells Sanctuary. In other words, she sells that snatch. And we just heard Seven Wishes, not Seven Witches, but Seven Wishes, doing a cover of the Dokken classic Unchain the Night. And the guy here to getting ready to unchain the night, Unleash the Fury. My good partner and friend, Chris Akin. What's going on there, Chris?
What is up, boss? How are we doing?
Oh, good. Looking forward to the show tonight. I say this every week, and it's getting to be a challenge now among the CMS faithful and fans.
Okay.
Now the requests are coming in on Tuesday. Already on Tuesday. So 4 days prior to the show, we've got people requesting songs.
We're going to have to make that a pay service.
Yeah,
What's your request? It's $1.
Yeah, it's $1. It's $1. We need the Patreon money.
Mm-hmm.
You send me $1 or $5. You get your request on first.
That's right.
But
anybody in Locals, you get put to the top of the list.
Right, of course. So yeah, it's just kind of goofy. That it's interesting and fun, and I appreciate the patronage from the fans that they're thinking about the show so far in advance.
Yeah, no kidding. Jesus.
You know, it's like I live for the show, man.
Do you think about the show on Tuesday?
No, typically not.
Me either. Maybe Friday.
I start thinking about it on Friday. Well, through the week, if I just run across a story or something that I think might, be interest to the show, I usually send myself an email with the link to the story or something like that, but that's about as far as it goes. It's just like, oh, here's something that could potentially be a subject to talk about,
Right.
So other than that, no, not until Friday or even Saturday morning, then I start kind of getting into the show mode and thinking about, well, what kind of a mood am I in today? What are we gonna get into here?
Right. I'm the same way. Maybe Friday evening is when I'm like, all right, I gotta start thinking about topics and stuff for tomorrow.
Sure.
And that's usually when I do is late night Friday nights, like 11, 12 o'clock at night. That's usually when I'm like, all right, let me start putting some of this shit together.
Right. Well, and then, of course, the fans help, too, because there's several really hardcore CMS fans that email me stories through the week, like Foreheady Trunk. He sends me stuff. Brian Bauming sends me stuff. Let's see. Who else is always throwing stuff our way here? Let's see, Lisa Van Ness, she sends stuff our way. Matt Barth sends stuff our way. So people are always just sort of, thinking about the show and go, hey, you guys might want to look into this or check
Sure.
this out, or this might make good subject material or something, So not only do you have stuff, I have stuff, our fans have stuff. So we never run out of topics. That's for sure.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, in our reality, if we could, do this for a living, we have enough stuff to do a 5-day a week, 4-hour a day show.
Sure. Yeah, we could.
But, unfortunately, that's just not a lucrative thing anymore. That's something from the days gone by.
Right.
I was watching Anthony Cumia the other day. They posted a clip and he was talking to his former staff guys, Garrett and I can't remember.
Steve?
It could be Steve.
The guy that Garrett does his show with?
Yeah.
Steve Conti.
Yeah, they do like a sports show or something now, I guess.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, anyway, he was talking about, they were talking about Opie and how Opie does his Facebook live stream thing,
Sure.
And basically, they played a couple of his clips, and at his age, he's 65 years old or something like that. Mm-hmm. He's still holding out for that corporate radio gig that someday somebody's going to call him up and want him to host an FM show or something. It's just like, oh, dude, what are you doing? Yeah. You should have enough money in the bank. He's probably worth like $30 million, or at least,
right?
You would think anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the days of radio is over. It's over. That's what That's basically the what Anthony was saying. He said that the days of the $1 million radio jock is over. That's no more.
Dude, even the guys that have radio shows now, which are certainly not at the Howard Stern in the 90s level, I'm just talking about regular Joes in every town America.
Mm-hmm.
Even they all have podcasts now because their podcasts do more than the radio does.
Yeah, nobody's listening to radio.
Yeah, just old people.
Yeah, but so anyway, they were playing some of Opie's clips talking about, interest from some corporate
shut up
company, gonna call him up one day and have him do a radio show.
Yeah, sure they will. Based on his 50 people that watch his Facebook, I'm sure they'll be running to get him.
Yeah, I know, it's so funny, but yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, you and I, we came in at the tail end of when radio was still something worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Into the mid 90s, you and I got into radio. I mean, this was, you got into radio about the same time I did. As far as like having a radio show.
Mm-hmm.
And the mid 90s, that's about where it was coming to an end. It was starting to grind to a halt.
Yeah, and it has certainly ground to a desperate halt now. Holy shit.
So I don't know who listens to that anymore. And the thing is some of the most popular radio stations, at least in the Chicagoland area, they've been sold.
Yeah, the Loop and
they've been sold. They've been sold to like religious broadcasting or to like some Spanish station or something like that. And it's bizarre. So yeah. So anyway. So that's what's going on there. So I really haven't chit-chatted with you this week. What's been going on with you?
Same as every week, busy as fuck. I mean, staring at code, killing code all week. I've got 3 big projects that I'm in various states of doing right now. So I was doing that a whole lot. My mom had some surgery this week, so I had to deal with some of that this week. She had back surgery, so I had to kind of be around for that.
Sure.
And actually spent a little bit of the week reading my my burn book, my Call Me Chris book, because I have a speaking engagement on Tuesday.
Really?
Yes.
Do tell. What's that all about?
I am speaking at a book club hosted by, I guess, nurses and other professionals, which is going to be really interesting because I'm not even planning to, find me a collared shirt to wear.
Well, how did this come about? How did this become a thing for you, or get the invite?
My friend Carrie, who I don't know that I've ever even talked about her on the show before, but you may or may not remember if you follow me on Fuckbook that me and Carrie went out like 2 or 3 times, and we went and saw John Corabi together.
Okay.
But it just was how sometimes you just know that it's like, all right, we're good as friends, and that's all it needs to be.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling this. So.
Yeah, and that was it. It wasn't like it was like a bad feel or a stale feel or anything. It just wasn't.
There's no spark there.
Yeah, it was just, you know what? We have a lot of fun when we get together and bust on people telling jokes and shit. But anything past that was not in the books.
Mm-hmm.
But we stayed friends, and we've been friends for years now. And she's, I guess, in this book club.
Okay.
And she read my books, and she just asked me. She said, "Hey, could you do this date?" And and I was like, "Yeah," and basically she bribed me with tacos and margaritas. So I was like, "Okay."
So, I mean, is she involved with these nurses or something, or?
I think she works like with them. Like I know she doesn't work. She's not a nurse. I don't want to say where she works, but
Right. But I mean, she's involved in that field.
Yes, indirectly. Her job, you ever see the thing where they draw the 2 circles and then there's that little spot where they intersect?
Yeah.
That's her. She's the intersect.
Yeah, she's the liaison.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So she works with them, and she's in this book club, and she wanted to be the the coolest one, I guess, of the book club by having the actual author show up.
Right,
so
very cool.
Which I'm thrilled to just go and talk about that kind of, talk about my book. And obviously they all had to buy my book, which that was good. 15, 20 sales. Bing!
Is that a requirement? Everybody has to get the book?
Well, they all have to read the book.
Okay.
They all have to read that's like what book club is, as far as I understand it, is that everybody, they pick a book once a month, and then they all read the book, and then they come back and talk about it.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So the way I translate it too is, wow, it's a good sale month for me on Call Me Chris.
Oh, hey, very good.
So yeah, so I'll be signing some books, and I'll be talking, and I get some margaritas out of it. So it all sounds good to me,
All right. Well,
I don't see how this is a bad thing.
Oh, perfect. Oh, very good. Well, look at that. That book still has some life in it.
Oh, yeah.
How many years ago did you release that? It's been, 6 years?
7, 6, something like that. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been out there for a little bit. But, yeah, dude, the funny thing is I had to actually open it back up and read it.
Yeah, so you could kind of familiarize yourself with what you wrote, and, maybe key in on a few of the, the stronger points or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, too, is I don't know what I wrote. It's been long enough now to where it's all blurry again. Like when I started writing it, whenever we opened Pinball PA is when I actually wrote it. So that was 9 years ago.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, because that's when I was writing it, was at night when we were done with Pinball PA, that I was sitting up in my room when I had nothing to do and writing Call Me Chris.
Okay.
And I had to take all the memories and stories out of my head and translate the ones I wanted to paper. Mm-hmm. But now that 7 whatever years have gone by, it's all gone back to the fucking goofy universe, to where I don't remember which ones are stories from the book and which ones are just stories in my head. So I had to kind of reacquaint myself with my own book.
Right, of course.
So, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Should be a fun time.
It's always nice to step out of, the same old, and, have a little bit of a challenge like that, to address a crowd or dress a room of people, I guess.
And it's been, I think, 6 or 7 months since I did that speech for the college in England, that last year.
Okay.
I think so it's been like 6, 7 months since I did one of these things. So I'm excited to get back out there and do it. I like doing these things.
Yeah, sure.
Who wouldn't like talking about themselves?
Well, some people just are not gifted, public speakers, regardless of what the subject material is, they get a little shy. I'm not shy. I mean, I conduct meetings and stuff all the
Sure.
time, and I'm always kind of running the meetings, and it's no different. And then obviously with the life coaching, I got a couple clients that I deal with,
Sure.
on a weekly basis. So, I do that every week. And, yeah. So, I enjoy that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And yeah, just like you, I certainly don't anticipate that I'm going to get in there and be all shy. I don't think that's going to happen. It's only happened to me once, and it surprised even me, when I spoke over at, what was that, Hiram College.
Okay.
That was the only time I ever got nervous, where I was like, I literally said to Kelly, I was like, if we sneak out the back door, we can get out of here before I got to go and fucking speak.
Yeah.
I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, and part of that one was because I didn't do any prep work at all. I just figured I'd go in and wing it. And then all of a sudden I was like seeing all these other like real authors around me. And I was like, oh man, these guys are like fucking pros. And then there's me. So I didn't do any prep, and thank God she did a bunch of prep, marked up my book, and
right.
Had it all ready for me so that I didn't have to look like a total douche.
Right.
But
yeah, I remember back in the late 90s, it was probably around 99, 98, 99 when I was teaching at a truck driving school.
Right.
There was a new kind of a safety program out there that they were distributing to the local high schools to, encourage the kids who were in driver's ed to learn how to maneuver around trucks on the highway. Mm-hmm. And I was selected to go from basically school to school. I went to numerous high schools,
right,
and address the whole student body in an assembly in a gym, talking about safety, road safety, and safety around trucks, and all that kind of a stuff. So I was out there addressing 300 and 400 kids in a gym, so it was interesting. I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I guess every time's a little different. Like I always have nerves. I always have that weird fucking somebody's about to punch me in my stomach feeling.
Yeah.
Like 2 seconds before. And that's no matter what. Smallest things that I've done up to, getting out in front of the Pantera crowd at Blossom. Every single one of them, I've always had nerves. But, and you handle it different ways. Some of them you just kind of take a deep breath and go. The Pantera one I handled with, 2 shots of Crown right before I went on stage. So... But yeah, it's fun.
You didn't go out there and face the crowd with a black tooth grin, huh?
No, I swallowed that first. That's for sure. I was like, I will admit that is one time I was definitely nervous. I definitely was nervous when I did that one. But then I got out there and did my normal shtick of, you guys ain't loud enough for Pantera. We're going to bring fucking Poison out here. And everybody booing me and shit, throwing batteries and shit.
Of course.
But even that was a lot of fun. It was everybody boo, 18,000 people booing you is fun.
Yeah, sure.
when especially when they're expecting, hey, it's Chris from WMMS. Glad to see you tonight. Who's ready for Pantera? They're expecting that. I'm like, you faggots ain't ready for Pantera.
And who were they playing with at that time? Do you recall?
They were the headliner. God, I don't remember who the opener was for that. I don't think I even saw a note of whoever the opener was at that. I was backstage getting very, very tanked up with the Abbott boys and with Philip.
Right.
I did not see. I don't remember who did that. It would have been, if anybody wants to help with that, it would have been the Great Southern Trendkill Tour. So about like 96 or 97. Yeah. Something like that is when that was, but it was fun times, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just remember that you also were, doing kind of like almost sort of MC style duties at the Odeon for that Brave Words Fest or something.
Oh, like yeah. Yeah. That didn't go well.
You basically were told to tone it down a bit.
Yeah, they didn't. Well, the band loved it, but the You know, the band that I was introducing was Cataclysm. They loved it. But yeah, Metal Tim and Mark Groman were very pissed off at me because they were. This was when Saint Anger, I think, was out. I think it was Saint Anger, and they were trying desperately to get an interview set up for Brave Words with Metallica.
Right.
And here I come up on stage and I'm introing it like, this is the best fucking metal band in the world, not those posers, Metallica. You know, I'm just like totally just going. And then I got the whole room chanting Metallica sucks. It was like all kinds of wrong for what they were trying to do.
Right.
And but then I came off the stage after, and as I came off the stage, Maurizio from Cataclysm just shook my hand and goes, "Brother, that was fantastic. That was fantastic."
Well, I would imagine when you're being told, telling the crowd that this is a real metal band as opposed to the biggest band in the world.
Exactly. And nobody really knew who Cataclysm was in 2000 and whatever year that would have been, 4 or 5. I mean, that was right at the beginning of Cataclysm. So nobody knows who they are except me. And I'm like, these guys are better than fucking Metallica.
Yeah. Nice. No, those were always good days, man. Just being able to participate in and getting back to the original premise of this discussion about local radio. That's when, you could be a personality within the local, region that you were broadcasting from. And, you could be a personality out there on stage, but, with the type of thing that we do, our audience is spread out worldwide,
Right.
And, I mean, we may have 40 or 50,000 CMS fans out there, but they're just a blip on the map when it comes to the whole world,
Yeah. The unfortunate part of that is there's 2 here.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's 1 50 miles away, and there's another 6 that are 300 miles from here. And, it's like all over it is weird when I look at the analytics for the show and I do see, some of the stuff I see, I'm just like, how can this be? How can there be people in Tanzania listening to us? Or,
right, of course.
Some of the weird places, Uzbekistan or whatever. I'm like, yeah, there's 3 listeners in Uzbekistan. Great. I'm sure they understand everything we're saying.
Of course. Yeah. So, it's interesting. I mean, I'm glad for the fans that we have, and the fact that for some reason we resonate with people in different parts of the world. But like you said, there's 1 here and 1 there, and 2 over here. And because who was it? Sal was asking me, he goes, well, are you going to do something for the 30th anniversary? Are you going to have like a show or something? It's like, well, it doesn't really make any sense for us to do something like that because, who's going to come? Nobody knows us, like in a concentrated area.
Yeah, and you're too far removed from here now,
right,
to draw it.
Sure.
And I'm too far. Truth be told, I'm too far from here now because I just don't do appearances here anymore.
Right.
And haven't been on the radio in 20 years or whatever. So, I mean, to answer Sal's question, yes, we're going to do a show. It'll be right here on a Saturday night.
Yeah, well, as far as like having like a live event, it's just like, no, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to do it because, where if we were to do something like that, where would we do it? But maybe in the Cleveland area or something. But then again, what's the point? Nobody knows us locally.
No.
By a handful of people.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line to those shows, it's always the same thing. In order for it to be full, it doesn't even fucking matter that we're there. We got to get fucking Steven to come out or Don or somebody.
Of course.
If we don't get Steven or Don or one of our good friends that's also a huge fucking name, then there's going to be 35 people at the show.
Exactly. So, so it's just, it's kind of a cool thing. I appreciate people thinking ahead and go, well, you're 30th, they're coming up. What are you going to do that's special? It's like, I don't know. I don't know that there's anything we can do.
Yeah. I'm going to buy a new CMS hat. That's about it.
Right. Right. So yeah, it has its pluses and minuses. It's the local radio thing that was always a party, especially if they sponsored something cool that you wanted to go
Sure.
to, whether it was a concert or early release night of a CD that people were waiting for to come out, a new record that was coming out at a record store, or midnight sale,
Right.
or some kind of a movie. They used to do like the Rocktober movies, Friday night, and they would show, Rocky Horror Picture Show or The Wall or
Sure, something
Zeppelin
cool.
Song Remains the Same, or
Right.
some traditional thing. And it was just get together with all your fellow rock fans.
Yeah, those days are gone.
Yeah, I know. So
Now the idea of getting together means that we have a group chat on Google Meet or something. Yeah, everybody was welcome.
exactly. Glad you're all here.
Yeah, it's great.
Can you see me all right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, now I'm going to mute every one of you, and then I'm going to go one by one and let you speak.
Right.
Fun. Ugh.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Well, that's still cool that you get, once again recognized or asked to, as an author to address a little group.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever.
it'll be fun. It's always interesting for me. Like Carrie knows me, so she knows who she's invited to walk into this thing. But all these other professionals, they're probably expecting some button-down, boring fuckwad to step in. And then they're going to get this, long-haired, fat, homeless-looking dude. It's going to be, they're probably not ready for me, but whatever. That's
Right.
fine. And I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be like, well, let's have a nice discussion about
Right.
this.
Of course.
That ain't happening.
Yeah. You're not going to soften it up.
No. Be
you're
like,
just
all
gonna
right, everybody in the kitchen, put your hand on the stove. Let's give you all a test.
This is what it was like.
Yeah. Now imagine that everywhere.
Boy, what a mess. Well, anyway, very cool. That's always I'm always glad to hear that cool things are happening for you, and
Thank you.
get to step out of your normal doldrums day in, day out computer stuff.
Yeah, I need to. And it's like, dude, even the stuff that I do plan seems to get like the Pete Rose. I had the plans, had the tickets, had everything for Pete Rose, and he died.
We didn't even talk about that. I mean, I know that you had said that your mother wanted to go. And,
she bought tickets.
And you were going to go, and then he died.
And then he dies. I'm just not meant to leave the house.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Well, that was kind of funny because we were actually talking about the documentary that came out, a few weeks back.
Right.
And he was more or less, the reason for the documentary is maybe try to change some minds and hearts about, allowing him to be represented in the Baseball Hall of Fame before he dies.
Right.
Well, now he's dead.
And he's dead. And now they'll probably put him right in. They probably will put him in, these fucking scumbags. Baseball is garbage now. They've just ruined the game.
You know what? I didn't even watch one game this year. Not one.
I watched a couple of Padres games, maybe more than a couple, probably like 5. But I'm not into it like I used to. Like right now, the Indians, or the whatever they're calling themselves, are in for the championship right now.
Yeah, I know. Who are they playing? The Yankees?
Yankees, yeah. You know how many pitches I've watched of that? They're in game, I think, 4 maybe, or 5.
Okay. The only reason I knew that is because I was at a bar and the TV was on.
Well, then you've seen more than me, my friend. I have watched none of it.
Right.
It's funny because Kelly was texting me last night. She's giving me updates on the score. She's like, it's 6-2 or whatever the score was. And I was like, don't care. And she's like, how can you not care? You fucking were raised on this.
I was raised an Indians fan. An Indians fan. But since they're not playing, I have no interest.
And I will admit, I thought it would be terribly difficult to give up Like football, I tried. I really tried, but I love football too much to give up on it. I'll never support it anymore. I'll never give it any money, but I got to watch it. It's just an addiction for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't watched football in over three years. Not even one game.
Yeah, but you could let go of anything. You don't attach emotion to anything.
Nope.
You could literally tomorrow say, I don't want my car anymore and be done with it and never regret it.
Yeah,
yes?
True.
You know, I don't know of anything that you attach to other than this show.
Yeah, true. But I built this thing. You know? So yeah, of course it's very important to me.
Mm-hmm. But anything else you could let go of in a heartbeat.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just, this too shall pass,
I tried with football. I didn't watch it for 2 solid years. I didn't watch any of it. And then it just started creeping back into my world again.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm right back to 3 games on Sunday and 1 on Monday and sometimes 1 on Thursday, guy.
Well, speaking of football, even though I haven't watched any live games in the last almost 4 years now, I was watching somebody put together these highlight reels.
Yeah.
And they were basically some of the best plays the Steelers ever had over, whatever. And I just forgot how fantastic Ben Roethlisberger and what's that receiver?
Brown?
Yeah, Antonio Brown were.
Yeah, they were good.
They were just some of the catches that Brown made, and it's just like, what a shame that guy just pissed his career away. And same way with Le'Veon Bell. He was a breakout star. He was just fantastic, great runner, could receive everything, and that guy just pissed his whole career away.
Held out for money, got the money, and just sucked from there on out.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed watching those reels. But what was kind of a weird dynamic for me, because they were covering some of the Bradshaw years.
Sure.
Just the build that the players had in the 70s as opposed to the way they look today. The players all look like they were tall and lean. Mm-hmm. And they were all very, very lean. Right. Even the bigger guys, the linebackers and stuff. Mm-hmm. Even though they were big guys, they were very lean.
Sure.
And the players today, they're all thick. You know what I mean? It's just a weird transition from what the players used to look like 50 years ago as opposed to what they look like today. It was really strange to see that, but they all looked like they were all just very, very fit and tall. And
most of them couldn't afford to eat. They weren't getting paid shit. I mean, if you think about it, dude, every year that you watched football back in the day, before 2000, we'll say, any time that you watched before 2000, anybody that was any good on any team, then you'd see the commercials in between. Hey, this is Mike Pruitt for Mike Pruitt Nissan or whatever.
Exactly, or Arby's.
Or you know where I go, Mr. Hero. That's the place to get a sandwich.
Yeah. What was it? What's his name? Mike. What was he?
What team?
For the Browns.
Pruitt?
No, it started with a D. What was his name?
What did he play? What position?
He was a defensive guy. He was always on commercials all the time. I know I got his name on the
Mike. I don't know. It's not coming to me.
It wasn't Deacon or Ditka it was something like that. I just remember
Deacon was.
No, he was always on. He was always on commercials. He was.
I know Clay Matthews had like a string of car dealerships or whatever. Hey, I'm here from Clay Matthews Ford. It's me, Clay Matthews.
Right, of course.
I'm gonna hit the Steelers hard, but not as hard as this deal for this new Maverick's gonna hit you.
Right,
buy it today.
and that dealership over there in Akron, Cleveland, that Rick Case.
Oh yeah, this is Rick Case.
He would always have, the local sports stars.
Oh yeah,
doing stuff. Mm-hmm. So it was just kind of funny to always see these guys on the commercials.
Yeah, and you got to where you knew their catchphrases and stuff.
Right.
Like Rick Case, like, ha, this is Rick Case.
This is Rick Case.
This is Rick Case. It's like, who the fuck is Rick Case? Nobody knew, but everybody was like, yeah, that's Rick Case.
Yeah.
You know? But what did he ever do? He didn't ever do anything. Did we know him from anything?
No, he was
sold cars.
He was just a dealer.
Yeah, he sold cars. That's it.
Yep. So what I do remember though, as far as like Rick Case, he always put his money where his mouth was as far as like spending money on promotional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember right along Interstate 77, his dealership was up on top of the hill there, just north of where the Arlington Road exit was.
Yeah.
And he had Evel Knievel's Sky Cycle up there.
Okay.
On display in his parking lot. So you could go see the smashed up Sky Cycle that he attempted to jump the Snake River Canyon with.
Sure.
You know, and he had Evel Knievel out there, you know, doing a guest appearance.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I mean, he was always involved with the local sporting stuff.
Sure. Dude, I miss those kind of commercials. Instead now, if you watch TV now, all you get is especially right now, all you get is these fucking political ads. And it's just nonstop beating.
Yeah.
Are you voting for Bernie Marino? He wants to rape your daughter. You know, it's and then the next commercial is Bernie Marino will save your daughter from rape. You know, it's literally like the polar opposite as they go. And it's every stupid topic. Bernie Marino wants 4,000 immigrants to live in your front yard.
Right.
Vote for Sherrod Brown. And then the very next commercial is like, Sherrod Brown wants your daughter raped at swimming class by a transgender man.
Right.
It's like, just stop. I'm so tired of these fucking political ads. It's like, I saw Trump this week actually said that if he wins, he's going to outlaw the negative ads.
Yeah.
Boy, that is an actual point that I might vote for the guy for.
You wouldn't vote for him otherwise?
Well, I'm voting for him anyway, but I mean, I would if it was a dead heat and he had that point, I'd vote for him. I can't take these ads.
Sure.
They're terrible. Terrible.
I haven't turned my TV on in a month. Literally a month.
Well, that's good.
I realized that I have not watched television in 4 weeks.
Do you miss it?
No, not at all. Not in the least. I've just been, involved with just kind of watching, if I do watch anything, I'm just watching like, as far as like keeping up with what's going on politically. I'm not watching any real political stuff. I'll catch up with some Sticks or catch up with some Mark Dice or catch up with the Rageaholic or that's about it. That's about the extent of it.
Yeah, I watch some. I mean, I'm all over the map. I'm watching a lot of TV. That fucking VC box that I have now has really changed how I watch TV.
Oh yeah, so are you really digging that a lot?
Holy shit, yes.
I know people have been asking about that. So why don't you tell people what this thing is and where they can get it?
Well, they can get it at Amazon.
Okay.
It's called the VC Pro.
Okay.
VSEE Pro. And they sell it at Amazon, and it has everything on it.
Yeah. And how does that work? I mean, how does the apparatus work as far as like?
It's just like every other. It's like a Roku. It's
yeah,
like
I know.
Roku
but do you
whatever.
get like paid channels on there that you're not paying for or anything like that?
I'm gonna put it this way: I would never fire it up without a VPN. I'll say that.
But I mean, is that
being said,
it's legal to own the thing?
Yes,
right?
because it's for sale on Amazon.
Okay.
And built right on it are 3 buttons: Heat Live, Heat VOD, and Heat Ultra. And all you do is you click those buttons, and if you want Heat Live, then there's an assortment of 1,900 channels.
Wow.
That are there, and you can set the ones that you want for your own. Or then if you want VOD, video on demand, you go to that, and if you happen to see that something was going to be on Hulu or Netflix or in the movies or wherever, you can find that.
Really?
And then if you want the Ultra is all the 4K stuff.
Okay.
Which I don't use that.
Right.
I have no use for that. And then there's another one called Backup, so that like if you miss like a pay-per-view or something like that, it's on you up to 7 days. You can click the backup and it's there. So
okay, all right.
It's pretty impressive. I will say that.
Well, I might actually look into getting one of those.
It's a little pricey. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little pricey. It's like $350 each. I mean, it's not $1 million, but it's
sure,
$350. But I am using it a lot. I will just say that.
Well, you use your TV as your background noise, for a lot of it. So that's understandable. And
and you can run your regular channels on it too. Just to be clear, you don't have to use those channels.
Right.
Like if you want to put YouTube, like mine has YouTube and Tubi and Pluto and Peacock and all that shit is on there as well. But am I using those channels a lot? Not really.
It's like Roku on steroids.
It really is. It's a great thing. I'm not going to say where I know this guy from, but I'll just say, Paul, thank you.
Yeah, he was kind enough to gift you one of those.
Yes. So thank you. Beyond thank yous, Paul. I very much appreciate it.
All right. Very cool. Well, look at you. You're just all set up over there. Now, how does that work for multiple TVs? I mean, it's
multiple boxes.
Oh, okay.
Which I will be getting shortly.
Sure.
For now, I have like a good TV and a crap TV.
Well, I have a 50-inch TV here in the studio that I never watch, and then I have my 60-inch downstairs in the bedroom. And when I do watch TV, that's a majority of where I do my TV watching.
Sure.
Like I said, as of lately, I haven't turned the TV on at all. Not at all. I haven't been jonesing to watch a movie or nothing.
I haven't really been watching a lot of movies or anything. The only new thing that I've been watching, I mean, I'm watching all my normal shows. The Chicago shows are all back. Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med. Those are like network shows that I like. There's a really good, what do you call them? Docu-series, I guess. It's not a documentary, but it's like an acted thing on Aaron Hernandez from the Patriots, which I've been watching that. That's been really good.
That's a couple years old, right?
No. This is a brand new one.
This is a new one?
This is a brand new one on, God knows what it's on, but it's on something.
Okay.
It's on the VC Pro.
All right.
I don't even know what channel it is actually on. I think it's FX.
Okay.
But really, really good. Been watching that, and then truthfully, most of my TV lately has been back. One of the channels on the VC is the Sopranos 24/7.
Okay.
I am a mental patient with that shit. I can watch the same episode of the Sopranos 100 times in a row.
So do you catch anything you haven't seen before or realized?
All the time.
All the time?
All the time. I'm always catching, so that's like this little tiny thing that turns into something big, and I just missed it totally.
Right.
Like as an example, I'm sure you remember that the whole blow up between Tony and Johnny Sack, and then eventually, Leotardo, started with Paulie calling Johnny and kind of subvertively putting the hint in about the Jenny Sack mole.
Yeah, about being fat
about having the 90-pound mole.
Right, of course.
Well, what I didn't catch in all that mess was that there were 2 or 3 other calls that also led to other shit in the show. Like, as an example, remember when Tony, and I know we're probably talking over a lot of people's heads here, but spoiler alert in case you haven't watched The Sopranos in 20 years. But remember when Tony worked out that deal with the black guy and the mayor or whatever, the guy, the councilman, to buy those houses and then not pay for them.
Right,
And they got the $1 million check.
Yeah.
But then Tony wouldn't let it go and, wanted them hollowed out of all the copper and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Well, one of the things, and when I tell you this, you might have caught it, you may not have, but Paulie called Johnny and said, hey, I don't know what's going on, but Tony's been bragging about this thing. And then later in the show, they had a sit down where Tony got called out for making money on property that he bought next to the Esplanade, next to the big thing.
I recall that. Yeah.
Well, that all started because the only reason that Johnny knew about it was because Paulie dropped and I missed that. I never knew how he got that until literally like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that. I mean, that show was amazing. The writing is amazing.
Extremely well written. Well, a lot of ins and outs, and just little nuances there that set the next chain of events in motion.
Well, and nothing. I the more I watch it, the more I realize literally nothing that is said on that show doesn't have meaning.
Right.
There's no off comments.
It's very deliberate.
Yes.
That something was, inserted into the show, even though it may not have had significance at the moment, but then it kind of boiled over later.
Yeah. It really is. The level at which David Chase was writing was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just far, far superior to anybody else that writes TV. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm loving having that channel 24/7 is fantastic though, because I just pop it, and there's like 50 of those channels. There's The Sopranos, there's The Wire, there's Seinfeld, there's The Office. You pick a show, anything that's been good in the last fucking 30 years.
Right,
24/7 channel of it, which is it's a good time for watching TV.
It'll rot your brain.
Well, my brain's already well past rotted.
Yeah. Well, very cool. I'm gonna maybe look into that box. Do you think they'll outlaw the box or take it off the market, or do you think
I don't know. I mean, I was told that the one that I have, my friend Paul also has the same box and has had it for 3 years.
Okay.
So, he's had it for 2 years. He's had it for 2 solid and it's still running and there's no issues. So, I mean, the truth, the way I'm looking at it is, even if it gets outlawed, sake of argument, it does get outlawed, I still have it. You can run it like a Roku.
Mm-hmm.
Like a really souped up Roku that won't run out of memory or anything. I mean, it runs fantastically. So even if it just gets resorted back to, Peacock and Amazon Prime or whatever, the thing works fine.
Good.
It's a great, great, great box. Good shit.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Well, look at us talking TV time here with Chris Akin.
Yeah, there we go.
Very good. Well, anything else, any other irons in the fire? I mean, me personally, I just haven't had any, stories to tell per se, because just, my business job and everything has been just screaming.
Sure.
Lately. I mean, it's just some days it's just overwhelming,
Yeah, it's work, come home, go to sleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it's been too. I think that's why I attribute not watching TV, because I just don't even want to watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I just don't have the mental capacity to even want to watch a television show,
Sure.
or a movie or anything, because I'm just so burnt and drained.
No, I get that.
I'm done. It's just like I'm done for the day.
Dude,
all I want is peace and quiet.
I tell myself at night a lot of times, I'm like, stop watching TV, put on some music or something, put on something else, something that you're not watching. And then I never do.
Mm-hmm.
I just never do. Like I'll sit there, at night, I've kind of really had to, because I got so many goddamn projects going on right now. And night is kind of my metal shop time when I do the metal shop social media and that kind of shit.
Right.
So I'm always working, I'm always reviewing different music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of, and you do this, everybody does this, you see a name of a band, you're like, oh, I haven't listened to that in a long fucking time. So then you kind of throw it on, right? Well, I constantly am like, oh, Vane, let me throw that on there, and then I never do. And it's like, oh, I got to turn the Sopranos off. Wait a minute. They're right in the middle. Then I tell myself, well, I'll wait till the end of this episode. Well, then I'm not working anymore. I'm watching the episode to see how it ends. And then it's like, oh, well, now I got to see what happens next. So I got to watch the next episode.
Right.
They get me every time like a fucking retard. I've watched The Sopranos 100 times.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why I keep needing to watch it, but I agree with Barden somewhat on this. Watch X, fuck TV. X is fantastic. I will say that as well. There's a lot of TV to watch on X and on YouTube. Dude, I was watching, I'm going to tell you, I'll give the fans another suggestion and you as well. So, my fascination with Chris Hansen, right?
Yeah.
To Catch a Predator.
Of course.
We all like To Catch a Predator. Well, I discovered another one today. What is this guy's name? I got to look him up. His name, I think, is like Skeeter Gene or something.
Okay.
He's a black dude, and he has a little team, and he does the same thing as Hansen does.
All right.
But he does it like way more at it. Like Chris Hansen is sort of polite about it. Meanwhile, these guys, when they bust somebody, they'll run them down the street. You know how, like, when they try to run Hansen,
yeah,
like the police are right there. I watched one episode today. They ran this guy, had to run 10 miles around town. He was running from him, and they're running after him going, come back here, Predator. Come back here, Predator.
Now, do you think that's staged?
I don't think it's staged because eventually the police do arrest him.
Okay.
So if it's staged, it's really well done in the staging, but...
Well, I mean, are they real police and are they?
Well,
real
the guys aren't, but there are real cops that are involved. Yeah.
See, now in this day and age, I'm
with you. I'm
skeptical. It's like, now, is this for real or is this a stage thing just to make it exciting? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, somebody put it in there so I could stop looking for it. It's Skeeter Gene.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Skeeter.
Wake up, Skeeter Gene.
Well, you would think that it would be like some goofball like that, but it's not. It's like he's like, I don't know what you'd call him. There's always like the professional black guy in TV shows.
Right.
That's what he looks like.
Okay.
But he's constantly, like, here, I'll just play one. All right, let's see. Present. This one is fun. This might take a little while, but so what?
All right.
We got all kinds of time, right?
We do.
So the tall black guy here is Skeeter Gene.
Okay.
And when he finally busts him out, he says, "You've been skeeted." I know it's stupid.
Oh, isn't that slang for blowing a load?
Maybe, I don't know.
Wasn't that a thing years ago where they say skeet, skeet, skeet?
That could be. Could very well be. I don't know. But
right.
He's sitting down with this, you'll love the premise to this. He's sitting down with this transgender woman.
Okay.
Who, under the guise of they're signing this, they're from a major social media company, and they're going to bring this guy in to be their representative for their social media company.
All right.
It's really funny. Here, we'll watch a little. I'll skip ahead to it so you can see it. It's fucked up. Here we go.
But do you want anything else?
I can get you guys.
Oh, don't worry about it. We got it. We got it covered. I have a friend that has 88K followers.
88? Oh, no, you're right on up. You're on your way there. So
Look at the fingernails
I
on
know,
this dude.
that's what just, I saw that immediately and I was just, ugh.
So I'm going to skip through this thing because it is like 20 minutes or whatever. It's kind of long, but I'll skip through. So they've already got conversations that this guy had where he was sending dick pics to like what he thought was a 14-year-old kid.
Okay.
And so they told him that they saw his TikTok channel and they wanted to sit down to negotiate a deal with him.
All right.
And he fell for it like a fucking idiot because he is an idiot. But so then they sit down. Let me find where he's got the book open. Here we go. This shit is fucking hilarious. Watch this.
Somebody who can follow directions.
yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really ideal.
I'm naturally gifted. I don't have any background in acting or music.
Okay. Well, it's okay. Not everyone does, So, we see, you just pure raw talent,
But so far, my acting videos have over almost 2,000 views on it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, you're getting up there. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over and brief you sort of on the the shoe that we're talking about promoting here, and we'll get into the the nitty-gritty of the contract and whatnot.
Keep in mind, this is kind of a first.
Yeah.
So they want him to represent a shoe for the LGBTQ community.
All right.
All right, here we go.
First draft.
Yeah, this is sort of just like a prototype here. So yeah, this is the by Fubu. These are the new AirPred ones they're coming out with. They launched this summer. These are the LGBTQ plus edition, which is why we have a little bit of purple and something got messed up with the printer. They're supposed to be pink where the red is, but could you see yourself sort of being the the sort of the face of this shoe? It is more of like a tennis shoe. Not sure if you wear tennis shoes much.
I do.
Okay, but yeah, these are basically this is just like the prototype that we have here. So just to show you that. What are your thoughts so far on this?
I like the shoe. I like the design. As far as see the rainbow.
Yeah.
That represents LGBTQ plus.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we could definitely work. Maybe get the Fubu font in rainbow.
Yeah.
Something like that would be a little bit better. Maybe. Yeah, for sure. Probably make that work. Okay. Great.
Now watch this. This is the fucking turn, and this is why I like this so much, as much or better than fucking Chris Hansen.
All right.
Watch this.
So
And let's see this next page here.
Oh yeah, watch. Just watch how he springs it on him.
All right.
Here. Okay, and if you look here, this right here would be that'd be a picture of you holding your that you sent to a boy. That's what he was.
Yeah. All right.
How great is that?
Yeah. The big setup and the big reveal.
And this fucking tool bag is like, oh, whoa, he's totally caught off guard. And I'm going to stop there just because if people want to watch it, you can watch it. The guy's name is Skeeter Gene. But I will tell you, this goes on for another 20 minutes. And this is why I'm going to stop, because it goes on for another 20 minutes. They never tell him that he's going to jail right away. So they literally get him they get him confessing under the guise of they can still use him for their fucking campaign for the shoe. So he doesn't know they're a cop.
Yeah. So he's just thinking that
they did their diligence.
Yeah, that they're just they're just accepting of his proclivity.
Yes. So he keeps talking.
Yeah. Wow.
It's really something. I don't know how I found it. I do know how I found it. I was watching some To Catch a Predator on YouTube, or Takedown rather, and this popped on after one of the episodes, and then I started watching it, And this one here is like a 3-hour best of. I watched 2 hours right before the show started. That's what I was doing right until the show started, was watching this. It's really something. But it's Skeeter, Skeeter Jean, Jean on YouTube.
Now where is the camera positioned? It's like, is that like a hidden camera?
No, the guys behind it, there's another guy sitting at this table with them.
Okay.
That came in with him because they needed to shoot some B-roll with him, and they actually got some audio of him singing. See if I can find that real quick.
But they were just like, well, how did they explain the camera to the guy?
They told him that they needed it for the campaign.
Oh, okay.
Here. I think this is we're singing. Yeah, check this out. And watch his face as he's like, he's trying not to laugh because this guy is so fucking putrid. Oh my God, it's really funny. Here we go.
Time to shine, right here, Oh, what song is this?
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper. Who's it by?
Demi Lovato.
Okay. It's a good one. Yeah, it's maybe like a 30-second sample would do, I guess.
Look at him trying not to laugh.
Cause you're crying, I'm watching. Cause your teardrops in my hands. The only silence as it's ending. Like we never get a chance. Do you have to make me feel like there's nothing left of me? You can take everything I am. You can break everything I am. Like a middle class. Like a middle paper.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I will be rising from the ground. Like a skyscraper.
Yeah, that was the voice of an angel. Let me tell you, that was. I think Damon's gonna love that. What do you think, Sebastian?
I think so.
Oh, man. Wow.
And then 5 minutes later, they spring there's a picture of you holding your dick, sending it to a 14-year-old.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this guy's a lot of fun, man.
Ugh.
Somebody say he's on Rumble. Well, by all means, go watch him on Rumble instead of fucking YouTube. Where'd that link go? Here it is. There's the Rumble link, rumble.com/c/SkeeterGene.
All right.
Please follow him there and pretend I didn't say fucking YouTube. Follow him on Rumble. Support Rumble.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well,
yeah, there's something for you to watch if you're just looking for something that's just ridiculous.
Definitely check that out.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Dude, every single episode is funny. There's one episode in here. I don't know what these fucking Predator dudes are thinking. Guy comes in the house to hook up with some 14-year-old or something. He goes right in the bathroom and jumps in the bathtub to take a bath.
Okay.
And these guys all just invade the fucking bathroom. And he's in the bathtub. And they're just like, why are you here?
Right.
Why, do you live here? Why are you in this bathtub? But he just walked right in and took a bath.
Oh, that's bizarre.
It's craziness, but I love it. It's too good.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not going to deny that at all there, J-Rad. I'm sure he does. And some of this stuff, the one with the bathtub, the bathroom and the bathtub where they're all in Halloween costumes because it was on Halloween, was pretty ridiculous. But it's still funny as fuck. And the police are there, so if it's a scam, it's a great scam.
Okay.
And it's something that he's been doing for years. So he's hanging on to it if it's a scam, but I don't think it is.
That's pretty weird that he's been, doing this for as long as you say he has, but yet this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, dude, me too.
It's like, where's he been, or who knows about him, or how come he hasn't made any news at all?
I don't know, but he's got a lot of 1.73 million subscribers.
Wow.
I mean, there's people that are aware of him. We're just not. But I guess maybe because we're not in the LGBTQ shoe world or something.
Well, you're just not into being a predator.
Yeah, well, there's that too. But I mean, like I said, the only reason I found it was because it came on after a Chris Hansen episode.
Right.
The Chris Hansen is for grown-ups. This is for younger people, I think.
Okay.
But it's really fucking funny. Make me laugh.
That's pretty bizarre, man.
Yeah, it does make me laugh.
All right.
I guess I shouldn't be laughing at predators, but I laugh that they're caught, I guess.
or just how
dumb they are.
Bizarre they are.
And every one of them says the same thing. I've never done it before, and this is my first time. They both say that.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Every single time.
Whatever.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's some TV time there for you. So
yes.
That's what's going on in the world of television as far as the Chris Akin show goes.
That's right.
So some suggestions there for you.
There you go. Something to watch.
All right. Well, I say we take a break here and play some tunage.
All right.
Get these people who've been waiting patiently for 5 days to hear their tune.
Okay.
But as always, I'll let you pick a tune to start us off. So,
all right.
What shall we play?
I would like to hear the song Serial Killer from Slash's Snake Pit. From the Life Grand, the Rod Jackson one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, I think I had interviewed that Rod Jackson when he was doing that other band he had. What was it called? Just 3 Inches of Blood?
No, Rod Jackson had that band. It was with like the Cat guy. Remember the Cat guy that Mom knew?
Yeah.
Cat Radio or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But Fat Cat Radio.
Fat Cat Radio.
Fat Cat.
And he had there was a band or something, and Rod Jackson was involved with it.
Okay. It
was something to do with that. I don't remember what the band was, but.
Yeah, we kind of goofed
different,
on that.
Was the band called something like A Different Breed, maybe?
Something like that.
Something.
3 of a Different Kind, or?
Yeah, 3 of a Different Kind. There it is.
Yeah.
3 of a Different Kind. Wow. Old school.
Yeah. And I recall that because I think I interviewed him for that.
Sure.
Yeah,
that band went somewhere.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to play a few tunes. We'll come back. So we're going to kick things off here with Slash's Snake Pit from the Ain't Life Grand release. And here it is. It's Serial Killer exclusively here
on your classic metal show. This episode of the CMS Network is brought to you by our sponsor, Blackout Coffee. If you are a coffee lover, you will love what they are selling over at Blackout Coffee. Make sure you get yourself some. The only thing woke about this company is the drinker of the coffee, because it gives you quite a jolt. I am a personal fan of the Brutal Awakening Dark Roast, but everybody's a little bit different. Make sure you get what is your favorite today. Go to blackoutcoffee.com. Use the promo code CHRIA20 to save 20% on your first order. It's that simple. So one more time, blackoutcoffee.com. That is the link, or use the full link if you're going to shop around. That is scrolling on the bottom, and get yourself some of the best coffee that is out there today. blackoutcoffee.com.